Yeah, for sure. Terrence, you talked about the culture thing as far as and how that's impacted what you're doing now. I want to go to that first, and then we'll talk about Gamecock football and kind of what's going on with South Carolina football right now. Because right now, like I said, you are currently a police officer in San Jose, and obviously, we all know what's going on in 2020. And you're an African American male being a police officer, and again,
Yes,
everything
sir.
that's happened with the pandemic, with social injustice, all that stuff. I'm just curious to get your experience overall on being a police officer. And then again, in a world that is so divided. And like I said, I think you made a great point, by the way. And I've said this before on my own social media channels and to other people. It's like people need to remember, again, like you said, not everybody's raised like you are. And I think everybody, I don't know why or when it became a thing where we felt like everybody had to think the same exact way when, like you said, it's just impossible. You're not everybody's raised the same way, believing the same things, consuming the same
Nope.
thing, doing the same thing, whatever. So your all overall experience on being a police officer, and then I guess I think on a positive, if you could give people a message as far as, again, we live in this world that's so divided and people are going after one another and just, the injustices and all that. I mean, just give people, I guess, a message of positivity or just kind of, the positive things you've seen doing what you do. Because I'm sure there's been, for all the negatives, I'm sure there's tons of positives that probably don't get talked about enough.
100%. And being honestly, I've been a part of all positivity things, all
Mhm.
positive things. I haven't been on the scene where I've seen nobody disrespect anybody, where I've seen another officer like do something that I feel is unethical or
Mhm.
do anything that I feel is not humane. I have not been a part of it while I've been a police officer. And I've been around other officers and seen things and it just hasn't happened with me being
Mhm.
around on the scene. I don't know what I can't. I haven't seen stuff where it came out in the media about San Jose doing things not properly, and but that's not like I say. That's not the whole department. Like yes, you might have an officer who does some things not right, but it's not the system. Nobody's telling me. I didn't have one person tell me, hey, you need to go out there and arrest all them. Hey, you need to shoot them with a beanbag. Hey, you need to do this and do that. Like I never had any command staff say anything like that to me, or any other officer say anything like that to me. Never, not one time throughout this whole process. And I'm at the bottom of the barrel because I'm brand new. So if
Mhm.
something needs to be done, then they're gonna direct me to do it most likely. That's why I was on the front line when
Mhm.
doing the protest because I'm at the bottom of the barrel. The command staff, the lieutenants, sergeants, they not on the front line. They not out there.
Mhm.
So like I would say, like you just have to. The main thing is just respect people's opinions. Like nobody. If you want, I believe if you want to see change, you have to be a part of that change.
Mhm.
If you really want to see change, and the way I say be a part of it is, you know, teach your child more about like, hey, you can be a police officer instead of being like, don't talk to the police. The police out to get you. Don't I hate the police? Like and I'm a victim of that as well. I was taught that as well growing up.
Mhm.
To not talk to the police. The police only here to cause pain and harm and suffering to you. Don't call the police. That's what those are the things that I was taught. And you have to relearn that like, damn, everybody's not like that. I never had an interaction with the police on a positive note unless we was in sports.
Right.
Unless I was playing sports or something like that, or they knew I played ball. Otherwise, it was never. I was. Just, I'm still a black man as well. Like I still can drive down to L.A. I'm black. Ride down to L.A. and get pulled over for whatever if that was the case. But I don't. I honestly I don't. I try to tell people like to just have an open mind. Have an open mind to be open to that person's thoughts and opinions. They may not have the same thoughts and opinions as you. They may not have the same beliefs as you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to respect it. You should respect it. I don't get mad at somebody who tells me like that they are going to look for people to arrest today, that they
Mhm.
are being proactive. There's nothing wrong with being a proactive police officer. That's good because you're stopping a crime before it happens. You're trying to take guns off the street. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's not a proactive police officer. I don't get mad at the police officer that wants to sit back behind the bench, behind the facility, and just sit there all day and only answer calls for service. I don't get mad at that person either because everybody has their own opinion, experience. You can't get mad at somebody when you call the police for help and then you expect for them to come out and be like a superhero or something. They're normal human beings. Normal human beings, they get scared, they get afraid as well. Yes, you're trained. Yes, we're trained professionals, 100%. But it's not like you're doing that training all day. You can't train somebody attacking you with a knife. You can't train somebody pulling out a gun and shooting a gun at you. You can't train for those experiences. So when that type of stuff happens, based on that person's experiences of their life, will determine if they're going to pull a weapon out, if they're going to do this or do that. Yeah. You know, me, if somebody has a knife that's 5'4", 140 pounds, I don't feel like I have to shoot them. You know, I don't feel that as a threat. But what if it's a girl who's 5'6"? You know, what if it's a guy who's never been in an altercation before and he's never seen nothing like this before? You know, he's a police officer, but it doesn't mean that he's seen somebody with a knife attacking him. That doesn't mean he's seen a dead body before. So, like, you can't expect for, like, you can't Monday morning quarterback it like, oh, I would have did this. Like, you don't know the true experiences. And the number one thing I would like for people to do is, if you see something on social media, just go look it up. If you see something on social media, just don't take that little clip for everything in the world. Don't take that clip for that. Like, go look up and do some research and then post something and then say something. You know, because a lot of times, even my friends and stuff like that, I see them posting something and I challenge them. You know, I would challenge them. Like, what do you know about this? You know, because I just want to hear why are your thoughts like this? What do you know? Tell me the details on this. You know, did you go look up this case? Because after every shooting or something like that happens, after the case has been done, they will put out the information. They will put it out to the public. All you have to do is look it up. But people will just look at social media and base everything off of social media posts and think that every single officer is like that. And like, to be honest with you, I really don't have too many issues, you know, because my friends, my family, and people know, like this T Camp. You know, like, damn, this still T Camp. Like, this still him. Like, he the same. He ain't changed. And it gave people a different outlook. Like, damn, like, you to be the police and they accept you. You know, like, damn, I got another one of my football buddies that I played in Canada with that played at Washington State. He's in the academy right now. You know, and that's because I told him about it. And I told him, like, come do this job because it is a great job. It's a great job with great benefits. And a lot of times, guys, I try to express to, you know, my former teammates and, you know, the young players coming up, like, this is just like playing football. It's a team sport. You come in I roll out of bed in the morning at 5:30, just like I'm going to football practice. I put on my flip-flops, brush my teeth, walk out the door, just like I'm going to football practice, jump in my car, pull up to the facility, walk into the building, put on my uniform, just like I'm going to football practice. Except for now it's game day because every day's real. You know, so now it's game day. Every day I walk out, it's game day, and I'm going to perform. I get to go help people. I'm working with teammates as a team to accomplish one goal, to keep the community safe and to make sure that we all come home safe at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, and you're dealing with different cultures, different backgrounds. You work to achieve accomplishment. You work to achieve goals, just like in football. We want to achieve the goals. We want accomplishments. Same thing here. You can move up, just like in football. You can move up the depth chart. You know, so it's very similar. And I would just like to see, you know, the more people that we have do it that are from the community and wish to help, if we get more people from that community or from that area that want to help and become police officers, like, it will be good. Now you can have an impact. But you standing out there yelling at me, calling me N-word and saying that I traded on you and I'm a traitor, like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Like, do you want more people of color to become officers, to get in position of power, or do you want to just be patrolled by all white people? You know, like, it's, what do you want? Like, I'm trying, like, it's so confusing. Like, people get so mad and so angry when they see me out there, but, you know, patrolling and stuff and call me all these names and stuff. It doesn't bother me. You know, it doesn't. I try to tell them. I try to be like, can I talk to you? If I can talk to you and express to you, I think your opinion will change. You know, but if you won't let me talk, if you're just gonna be, you know, foolish, a dummy, if you're just gonna be yelling and screaming and calling me all kinds of names and words and don't want to hear my side of the story, then, you know, we'll never accomplish nothing here. You know what I'm saying? We just hear, you just hear yelling. So, you know, I feel great doing it. I love doing this job. I plan on doing it for the next 20 years and encouraging other people to do it and, you know, and trying to move up and do more for this community, do more for my community back home. You know, I just plan on just trying to just continue to do more for South Carolina. Maybe I can come back to South Carolina and be a chief of police. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You just never know what God have in store. The only thing I do know is that you just got to have an open mind, got to work hard, just keep pushing.